Right, trying again. Attempt 2. So I think now, Sheridan, if you come on again. Sorry, everyone, if you've just caught these random weirdo lives. I'm on my phone and I'm going to make this work if you're watching, this is just a little boring bit until I can get Sheridan on again to see if I can do an interview with her, because there must be a way. Okay, I've got one person watching. Yes, it's Sheridan. Allow your viewers to request to join you. So Sheridan, I think you have to request to join me. Yeah. Can you see how to do that? Pressing all sorts of buttons here. I'm so technologically minded. Let's see. Yeah, so I've allowed you to request to join in. If this doesn't work, we'll have to do it not live, which will be a real shame. But anyway, we will do it somehow. So basically the purpose of this broadcast was to bring you an interview with the wonderful Sheridan, who is my client. And she is going to talk about how coaching has helped her. And if I can't get her to come on live with me now... Oh God, I've just realised I've got my headphones in again. Sheridan, such a muppet. Is there a way for you to get in? Is there a way for you to request it? You're on your phone, aren't you? Okay, so I can't see that this is working. I can see that you're watching, and I can't see how. No, so it says here, allow your viewers to request to join you as a guest. Now I've allowed it, but I don't know how it works. Okay, I'll wait. At least it's only me and you on this live at the moment. I think Jeanette went. There's loads of buttons on the bottom. So if it's like me, there's so mine looks like a little message box, and when I press it, it says, oh no, it's not the message box, it's the two people box. It's the two, there's like a person and a person in a square. Oh, here we go. I think it's worked. Right. Kerry, I've just seen you've come on. What I'm doing at the moment. Oh, there she is. We did it. We did it.
Did it. We are invincible. We are unstoppable.
So one thing I don't do in my coaching is teach people how to get more like technologically minded, because that's not my thing.
Me neither.
So guys, if you're watching this, say hello whilst you're watching, and I'll just explain again. Sorry for the kind of dodgy start. This is my wonderful client Sheridan, and Sheridan has kindly agreed to talk about her coaching experience and how it's impacted on her life. And so I'd just like to welcome Sheridan. Thank you so much for coming on.
You're very welcome. My pleasure.
So the first question that I wanted to ask you is, what first sparked your interest in making some changes?
It's just flashing up a little wait thing now, so I don't know what that means. But anyway, hopefully this is working.
Well, I can still hear you.
Great. Okay, so what's first sparked my interest? Well, you know, I think I was going to say when you get to a certain age, but I don't think that's true. I think at any age, really. I mean, I think often people get to a point in their life where they think, something's just not kind of joined up here properly. And I was kind of doing what I've been doing most of my life, which is working my arse off and not having time to actually have any connection with anybody, least of all myself. And so I just kind of got into an increasingly kind of negative sort of space with it all, really, and was sort of getting fatter and fatter and fatter and more and more and more miserable. And I actually, it was quite interesting because I thought, oh, the way to solve this problem is to externalize everything. Well, I didn't realize that was what I was doing at the time, and get a personal trainer so I'll lose weight and be really fit and beautiful and healthy. Not realizing that that actually wasn't the answer at all. But I did do that, and so I did the thing that we all do because Google is the answer to everything, not. But I did find the wonderful Purple Fitness, aka Charli Wall, and that is where my journey began. That has absolutely transformed my life from being always trying to solve how I'm feeling or solve my problems by externalizing things, to where I'm at now, which is much more about, being looking on the inside or being more internalized or being more not looking for solutions outside of me, basically. Always trusting now that all the solutions are already with me, that everything that I need to know and everything that I need in my life is I already have it. And Charli has been instrumental in getting me to that truth. And it's bloody amazing, guys. Amazing.
Well, that's lovely to hear. And I was thinking as you were saying there, for people who wouldn't necessarily know what that meant, you said externalizing. Can you explain a little bit more about what that means for you?
Well, to me, for me, what it means is that I was previously, my previous, almost feels like my previous existence, actually. I was always looking to things outside of me to make me okay, or blaming things outside of me for why I wasn't okay, and feeling like not in control of my life in any way, like things happened to me that I had no control over. And what I've come to learn is that actually, um, most things you do have control over it, and the things that you don't have control over, whatever happens, they're happening for a reason. There's some sort of lesson in that for you. You can embrace it as being an opportunity, or you can see it as being a tragedy. And I think what I've learned is to embrace. I mean, I've always been fairly sort of thinking like that, but I had gotten to a very negative space where everything was, happening to me, and I didn't have any control over it. Whereas I think that that's the wrong way to think about things. I think the way to think about things is that you do have control over things, and where something happens that you can say, well, I didn't have control over that. I didn't intend that to happen, or I didn't want that to happen. That if you can then embrace that as being something that is serving you in some way, that it's occurred in your life because actually you did need that thing to happen because it's given you the opportunity for something else to happen in your life. So in the last year of my life, many, many huge things have happened. And in my previous of
Oh no,
being with those things. Are you there? Am I there?
you're back now. You're back.
Yeah. So what I was
Yeah,
saying was,
you're back.
yeah, in my previous kind of mode of dealing with life, I would have seen all those things in a kind of victim mentality, like those things happened to me and that person's a shit, or that wasn't fair, or whatever. But in the massive things that have happened to me in the last year or happened in my life in the last year, I don't think I can think of one single thing now that I can think that was a disaster. Every single thing from, you know, infidelity, divorce, breaking bits of myself, all these things. Now I'm so blessed from those things happening. I'm so grateful for those things happening because every small thing that happens to me, I can now see the wisdom in it. And it's not that somebody else is telling me what the wisdom is in it. I know, I just know that there's a wisdom in everything that happens in my life. And I am truly grateful for those things happening, because they give you, everything that happens gives you an opportunity, when and create space in your life. And recently, well, since an example of that is when I broke my ankle last a week or so ago. I
Yeah.
was initially disappointed that my sort of long-term friends didn't respond. But actually, what happened was it opened up the possibility to have lots of new people come and uh, be beside me and support me and help me and whatever I needed, in a way that has so much enriched my life. And those people will, I know they're not just going to be.
Oh,
So, breaking my ankle has actually given me the opportunity to meet some amazing people and to let go of some people who were actually not really very helpful in my life. And
and where did you find those amazing people, Sheridan?
well, several of them I actually grew. Yeah,
Oh, you've cut out.
on
Oh, you're
there.
back. I didn't hear what you said because you cut out.
Several helpers, or new friends, if you like, have come through the She Connects group, your She Connects group. One couple in particular who I think, I really, really, they're so beautiful and lovely people, and I'm so. So that was really good. And some people who, like people who have not been around in my life for a while, but have kind of come up again, have popped up again as
Yeah,
being people of.
that's a good pop face.
Sorry?
So right, you froze on pop and you went pop.
Popped into my life, and I'm really happy about that as well. So yeah,
So
good.
I was gonna say, like you mentioned wanting a PT and thinking all these made you decide to go with a coach as opposed to a personal trainer? Obviously I'm both, but anyway.
Yeah. Um, because I think that actually, um, in a way, the personal trainer thing, it's great, and I may do that once I'm settled, because I'm in this massive transition, just both sort of emotionally, spiritually, and physically in my life at the moment. So having a personal trainer, to me, requires being in one place for a extended period of time, and that's not how I'm living at the moment. In the future, when I
Mm-hmm.
hopefully in that, well, hopefully, I say hopefully, when I'm ready for that to happen, um, then I might consider doing that again. But I think for me, what I've realized is it's that kind of getting your true self, or connecting with your true self, or being at peace with yourself, which is the priority for me. I need to be kind of settled every way. Oh, we paused then for a second. Um,
Yeah,
so
it's okay. You're
yeah,
back. We've had a lovely
so
heart
I
from
think that.
Suzanne Farag.
Oh, great! Hi, Suzanne. Yeah, I think that getting my emotional, spiritual self, and mm, you know, and being true to my true self is actually much more important. It's the foundation on which I can build everything else. All that other stuff is the easy stuff, by the way. Getting a personal trainer and doing all that stuff. That's the easy stuff, actually. I think the real stuff, the real task, is about connecting with your true self. And I think you've helped me so much in that journey, and I'm really grateful for that. I mean, it's, I think for some people, when I'm talking about this stuff, they're thinking, what is she talking about? And I think a year ago, I would have also been saying, what is she talking about? But actually, it's so obvious, and it's so clear, and it's so simple once you start to drop all your kind of fear and your prejudices and all your kind of conditioning, that it has, the way you think, or the way you engage with your thoughts, has to be in a certain kind of way, and it just so doesn't. It's so simple once you actually let go of all the conditioning and all the crap that we take on, but especially as women, actually. I think it is actually quite easy once you get going on it. And as I say, I think everything else, all the physical stuff, all the, like getting a grip on all the other things that you think are messing your life up or messing yourself up is so easy. Once you have that kind of real grasp of your true self and who you really are and how you really relate to everybody else on the planet as well, I think it just transforms your life, and that transforms you as a person. Everything else becomes just as it is. It's okay. You don't have to sort of worry about anything else anymore. You're just who you are, and it's great. You are enough,
I love
as
that,
Charli would
Sheridan.
say.
Yeah. You are enough. You're always enough.
Yeah.
I do believe that. And that kind of really leads me on to my next question, which is, what are some of your inner resources that you didn't realize that you had, but that have helped you on this journey?
Oh, that's a difficult question. Um, I,
So just
I
to tell everybody, I didn't prep Sheridan before this. She's
no,
just
she
come
didn't.
on.
She went, I've got some questions. I'm like, oh, okay. Um, I think some of my inner resources are, I mean, I've always been quite a spiritual person. And I think one of the problems with people with the kind of concept of spirituality is that they always think it has to be hooked up to a religion or a particular religion. And that's just not true at all. In fact, I think you can be not a religious person in the slightest to be a very spiritual person. So I think my sort of spiritual kind of uh, background or interest has helped quite a lot in understanding the whole kind of connectedness of everything and the whole um, the power. I mean, I think also because people perceive me as being a really quite powerful person, but when you think about where that power is coming from, um, it is actually coming from something far greater than you. And it is that your part in that greater power, I suppose, that has helped, that has kind of, or the recognition of that in myself, I suppose, recognition of my part in that whole kind of bigger connectedness of everything, that has really kind of helped me. And I think also that I'm kind of quite often quite a brutally honest person. Um, with other people and with myself. And in some way, that's kind of helped me. It's helped me to sort of like go, no, actually, that's not right. No, no, definitely not. And it's helped me to not gonna get caught up in the fluff of life in a way. I think, or to let go of the fluff of life, let's say, because I think I am sometimes caught up in the fluff of life, although I have been. I think I'm much less caught up in it now. So I think, and also that kind of longing in I think the longing in me that wants to be at peace has allowed me to embrace a different way of thinking about life that you've introduced me to, or you've supported me in, is probably a better way of putting it. And yeah, that's really great. I just noticed that we've got guys in here as well, but that's because they're people that I know.
Yeah, and they're all commenting, and I love that. Like
Mm.
Suzanne's here, she's saying you shine. I
Yeah.
think we need to allow ourselves to be. I like your honesty.
Mm.
And she said that you're an inspiration, and I'd have to agree with her. So I love that she's here, and I love that you're doing this interview. Um, so what are some of your biggest insights since starting coaching? Insights, realizations.
Oh my God, loads. um, um, One of my things is about always wanting to be validated or approved of by other people. And one of my biggest things is realizing that I don't need other people to validate me or to approve of me, because I can do that for myself. So when I do nice things for somebody and they are not very grateful, which happens in life, people have got their own stuff going on. that's actually
That's right.
completely okay. And that I can be, I can approve of myself. I can know myself that what I did was a really nice thing. I don't need somebody else to tell me that. So that's really nice because it kind of relieves you of the responsibility of always trying to get somebody else to say thank you or to approve or to be grateful to you, because actually it's okay. And also when you do things out of love, that's the other thing, is that everything is about love. Everything is about love. If you do whatever you do in your life with love, it really doesn't matter a jot what anybody else does or anybody else says, because what you've done is you've done it because you wanted to do it out of love. And that is such a liberating thing, because you need other people to tell you you're great, you're a great person, and thank you so much, and whatever, because you did it because you love them, or you feel your feeling of love for the world, for the other people that are part of you and part of your existence in the world. It's like you do things because in doing that loving thing for somebody else, you're loving yourself too. So that's a huge
Well,
big
that was going to be, yeah.
sorry.
Sorry, Sheridan. I was going to say that was something that I was kind of struck there as you were talking about doing it with love. I would say that includes loving yourself,
Yeah,
as at that first.
absolutely. I think there's and letting go the things about making the kind of the self judgments that I make about myself that are not true as well. That's been quite a big realization, is that some of the judgments that I have historically made are just not true. They're just not even true. So I think when you get into the kind of loving yourself a lot more, you can let go of all that kind of self berating, not you're
Mm.
not doing enough, you're not focusing enough, you're not working hard enough, you're not uh, spending enough time with this person or that person or the other person. And I think it's interesting actually, because I think I do spend a lot more time with people, or quality of time with people is better. And so it feels like more. So one of my issues is always I haven't got enough time. So I've begun to sort of like think about time in a very different way as well. That, you can, it's not always necessary to work for what I consider to be working for so much time, because sometimes less is more. And with
Mm-hmm.
people as well, sometimes less is more. So to spend less time with somebody, but really be engaged with them during that time, somebody, and you not really present at all. So, oh, you've disappeared now. Oh, there you are again.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah. Um. So I
Right.
think
So
I think
I have
that's
one
helped.
more question for you, Sheridan. Sorry, I have
Okay.
one more question for you,
Yeah.
because I think we could probably talk all day, which would
Yeah.
be great.
Sometimes
But I've
less is
got
more.
some. Yeah. What do you have as your goals and dreams? Sorry, did you? Okay, I'm going to repeat that again.
Yeah.
What do you have? What are your goals and dreams for the future now that you're in this experience? You've had this experience of coaching. What do you hope for yourself for the future?
Um. I'd concerned, and what I know, and I mean know in a real sense of know, with other people. I don't necessarily want to become a coach, because I don't think that's where I I don't think that's where I want to be. But one of the other thing that I am in the process of doing, actually, so it's not even in the future, it's kind of happening now, is to cut down on what I do, cut down on a lot of the activities that I do, so that I can actually be more focused and more, um, yeah, the whole less is more thing, I suppose, really, to do less, but in more of a focused and uh, concentrated way. That's not just in relation to other people, because I think other people and what you do with other people is really important. I don't think you can just this journey is not a selfish journey. It's not something you do just for yourself, because you are not just yourself anyway, because you have, well, you are connected to everybody and everything anyway. So when you're kind of, it's a kind of purification, I suppose, in a way. Like I feel like I'm kind of purifying myself a bit more, so that when I'm interacting with people and I'm in the world, that I'm not bringing a load of shitty baggage along with me. And that's my aim for the future, is to not be bringing a lot of shitty baggage. And a lot of shitty baggage doesn't just mean emotional stuff. It also means physical stuff as well, because I'm actually in the process now of having this massive declutter of my life, of my worldly goods, as it were. It's a really liberating thing as well, because like I'm sort of going through, I'm moving, which is helping that process, moving house. That's helping that process as well, because I'm coming across things that I've been hoarding for years and thinking to myself, I don't need this stuff anymore to feel like I'm Sheridan. I am who I none of that stuff, none of that materials has any true value or meaning, because all true value and meaning is right here. It's right here. It's with me. I don't need to carry all this with me. I move from place to another. And what I do need to carry is that kind of real knowledge and knowing that I am everything I need. I'm everything I need. I need physical, and I don't need.
Sheridan, I don't know if you can hear me, but you've sort of cut out a bit. Oh, guys, if you're watching this, I'm going to see if I can get Sheridan. You've cut out a bit there, and I think the last thing you said, which I think is really important, so I just want to reiterate that, is that you said, I am all that I need. I am all that I need, and to sort of stop looking for that external validation and all the other stuff that we do because we don't feel enough. And I think that's a really strong message, and something that I've watched as you've gone on this journey. So yeah, that's what you said at the end, I think, because your Wi-Fi went, so you kind of cut in and out. And I think that's what you said, that you're enough, that you're all you need. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. And I think, as I've said, I do feel that really strong now. I feel like I'm not in this kind of needy, kind of grasping place that I've very often been in my life, feeling like somebody else to value. I don't do that anymore. I'm really...
Sheridan, it's a really bad line. It's a really bad line. So I'm probably going to have to close the video down because you've gone completely off. Okay. So, can you hear me?
I can.
Can you hear me? Okay, yeah, it's going like in and out. So, I want to say, whilst you can hear me, thank you for your time. I might do this again on another video forum so that we've got everything without it coming in and out. So you might get a chance to talk again. If you're up for that, right? If you're up for it. But thank you for your time, and thank you for watching, those people who are watching, and your friend who commented, Suzanne, who thinks you're amazing, and I think you're amazing, Natalie, who commented, Kat, who waved, and anyone else. If you've been in here, say hi if you're here, say hi if you're watching later. You can come into my group, She Connects. I'll put the link below. And it's been a real honor, Sheridan, to have you talk to us. So thank you so much for your time.
You're very welcome. It's been a pleasure, as always, talking to you, Charli.
Take care. Lots of love. Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.